Okay. Check 1, 2. Let's do a technical. All right, let's do some technical stuff here. Make sure you're hearing me okay. Make sure you're seeing me okay. We do that first. All right. Good. I can see your comments. The comments are on the screen. I don't know if those are visible enough. I'm trying something new. I should have, I pretty much taken care of the problem with the past live stream watch parties, if you will, with lagging and things like that. So I believe we're really good to go. Definitely good to go. All right, so let's go to your comments. Make sure you can hear me okay. All right. Give everybody just a couple minutes to tune in. Get on board here. Sounds and looks good. Excellent. So you can see me all right. Good. Excellent. That's good. All right, so we're live on the air. It's been a minute since I've come on the podcast and spoke about the news, interacted with you incredible, amazing people. Sounds good, and you're looking great. Welcome, everybody. Hey, Patrick, how are you? Anna, good to see you. Howdy. We have a lot to go over. Of course, I'm not going to be able to cover absolutely everything. So here's what you're going to get tonight. First of all, if you're new, welcome to the show. Secondly, totally unscripted. All I have in front of me are some bullet points. That's it. I don't like scripting my show unless I'm interviewing a guest. I like speaking from the heart, off the cuff. I like interacting. So that's what I'll be doing this evening. All right. So we're broadcasting on Rumble, or on Facebook, Rumble, and X. I mean, not X, YouTube. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my phone as well. But we're broadcasting on those platforms. I do apologize on Rumble. You probably have a thumbnail that wasn't updated quick enough. I had to update the thumbnail real quick. You're seeing breaking news, U.S. airstrikes in Iran. Well, that's old news. Just Rumble's a little slow with the updates of the thumbnails. So I apologize about that. But that is still ongoing. We heard President Trump speak last night. Somebody in the comments says, do we have to watch what we say? That's entirely up to you. Entirely up to you. But I will remind you, it is Holy Thursday, and right about now, sunset, Christ is probably having the Last Supper, so keep that in mind. All right. So there's a bunch to go over. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go over some news. I'm going to see what you guys want to speak about in between me talking. And also, let me see. I got to be careful here. All right. I don't want to. Perfect. Okay. And the audio seems to be good. All right, good. So we're going to talk about, hello, guys. How are you? Hello from Winchester, Virginia. Alabama's in the house. What about the general hex let go? I don't know. I haven't had time to look at it. So I can't speak on that because that's pretty fair news. I know I posted it, but I've been quite busy. Haven't looked into it. Why? Maybe it's time for him to retire. Maybe they're making some moves. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? Here's a disclaimer right now to every podcaster out there and independent news reporter who claims they know what's going on behind the scenes. They don't. I do not. Now, some of us do have sources. I do too, straight to Washington, but it doesn't mean we have the inside scoop, put it that way. So, I mean, some people might. I get it. Somebody probably like a Benny Johnson, if you will, because he has that inside scoop for sure. But for the most part, we got to be very careful about what's being reported. I'm very cautious. I saw all the Pam Bondi rumors going around this morning, and it started to be credible. But I really don't post rumors. I'm very careful with that. I don't like jumping on the train of being first, or because everybody else is doing it. I just don't roll like that. It's so important. The reason you guys thank me all the time is because of the credible information that I put out. And just because I take my time doesn't mean I don't know what's going on. So, with that being said, all right, here, let me go into my little. So the biggest news of the day, obviously, we'll get this off the rip. And I'll say this too. I'm going to talk about a couple things here. All right. I'm not going to be bringing up anything really on the screen tonight. I won't be going 2 hours. Sometimes I go 2 hours. I get that. No, that won't be happening this evening. You will be seeing me again this week. You'll definitely be seeing me in a video, and not live, but you'll be seeing me in a video on Sunday night. Of course, if breaking news happens that's major on any given moment, you can always count on me to go live. Okay. So, with that being said, I want to start off the show, and whether you get tired of hearing it or not, okay, I'm incredibly grateful to all of you. I am blessed to do what I do every day. Even though it is a ton of work nonstop, I don't complain. I love what I do, and I'm very excited about finally, the direction that we're headed. I got a big surprise for you guys coming Sunday night, and I can tell you this: there's only a few people, I can count them on one hand, who know about this. You won't see this coming, put it that way, and it's going to be. How do I put this without giving it away? There will be an addition. I'm not talking necessarily about a human being, but there will be an addition to MindFix TV content. I can say that much, okay? On top of that, on Sunday night, there will be a total of 3 announcements. 2 announcements that I've decided to package in with the big announcement. And I think some of you are going to find out you're going to get what you've been asking for. And the announcement about I can tell you there will be one announcement about a production as well. And then the one I've been teasing also. So I would tune in for that. You'd probably be pleasantly surprised. As a matter of fact, I'm quite surprised that I ended up going down the road that I'm going to announce on Sunday. I really have to say that just like the name of my company, which is MindFix Entertainment, which I've always said that was divinely given. This announcement that I have on Sunday night, I believe is also divinely given. Okay. And no, it's not about Worthy. Worthy will happen. I always talk about Worthy. Worthy's a big one. And that's the independent film. But that will happen. But in order for that to happen, I have to start by laying a foundation. And on Sunday night, I will lay a foundation. It will put the train in motion of where MindFix TV is going, MindFix Entertainment is going. It will make a lot more sense come Sunday night. And it will be what it will give us direction, and it will get us to getting on set for Worthy. So I can tell you this much too. There is a small team that I have, and we've been working pretty hard behind the scenes, and we've been working quite a bit with certain technology and programs and getting things ready to go. I have been talking about this, the announcement that I have on Sunday, the bigger one. This actually, the truth be told, this was probably given to me, divinely given to me before the holiday, just around autumn. And it came so quick to me. I'm like, I got to get busy right now. And it took a number of months, and finally it is here. So I'm excited to do that. And I think the majority of you will be pleasantly surprised. And I know for certain that it's something that you will get behind. Okay. I just say that much. Somebody said, do I have, somebody in the comments just now said about live call-ins, Q&A. I do apparently have the technology for that, and I haven't gotten to it. But with that being said, I just made a mental note of it. And to a couple of people on my team, if you're listening, please take a note of that as well. We'll get that going for you. I do have the capability right now. I know you can't see it, but the equipment that I have set up and everything that we invested gives us that professional production to go ahead and have a call in. And I plan on doing the call in show. We can do that. As a matter of fact, we're going to do that for, I know I teased Mind Fix Radio at the beginning of the year. It's still there. We're on Podbean, Spotify, all that. We just haven't put any shows out. There was one I put out, pretty much a test show, if you will, an introduction. But after this week, I should take a couple days off. We're going to get Mind Fix Radio going. I have a handful of people who are already waiting in the wings to be guests to come on here. We've just been waiting. And like I said, when we went through the Biden administration, I remember having a conversation with, I have a family member who's like a brother to me, who's very much involved behind the scenes. So you don't see him on the air, but I told him, I said, look, we're not going to be able to do anything that we have vision to do until we get into probably 2026. And I was saying this during the Biden administration. The reason I said that, I could see the writing on the wall. I saw what was happening in the country. I saw where the economy was. And I'm like, we're going to get nowhere. And I can tell by all the comments over these years. And it's still going on right now, where people are complaining, and rightfully so, to an extent, about, finances, the economy, and everything else. Prices at the gas pump right now, which I totally understand. I feel that. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, okay, I have to go fill up. For sure, I should have done that today, but I didn't, because I saw the price of oil going up after that speech last night. So I'm sure it's going to be a little higher tomorrow. But this is a temporary situation, a temporary, I can go into this all night about Iran, but this is just temporary right now. But where I was going with this, what I was trying to say was, I waited, and I predicted this in my predictions. This is not making me look like some hot shot. I just pay very close attention. And this is about business behind the scenes. And a lot of you are business owners too, or get involved with that area. And I said this a handful of years ago. I'm like, his name's Len. And I said, Lenny, we're just going to have to wait. I'm going to have to ride this out. We can start brainstorming, getting things together. But if you want me to put like products out there and things like that, when I say, I gotta be careful here, IP. Okay, we've been focusing on IP. I don't like the word content creator. I've never wanted to be a content creator. A content creator just puts it out there, and I Oh, that's cool. And I want to do IP, and that's intellectual property of MindFix Entertainment. And I can tell you that that kicks off on Sunday night. So that's why we had to wait, because it was like, and even though now it's still sensitive because the economy's there, but I could see the handwriting on the wall. I do believe in Donald Trump when he talks about the golden age of America. I know that I have a handful of followers, a nice handful of followers, who seem to focus every comment. And I'm not picking on you at all. I'm not. But always focusing on money in the economy. Okay. And that's always the number one issue. I think that, matter of fact, I know in my heart that there's this plan going on still. And the reason I know this, and let's talk about Iran for a minute, because if you want to get honest here, and believe me, if you're listening to the show tonight, I hope you stick around, because I'm going to transition into something here. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a secret. And I know everybody's going to say, oh, BS right now. That's why my show is called No BS. But I'm going to give you a little bit of secret to Q. And something I've seen for a very long time, and I realized when they talked about the ending isn't for everybody, and a couple other catchphrases that I will explain to you, at least for me, that means something completely different than what the average person who delves into the Q drops think it means. And this will make sense here shortly. But getting back to Iran and talking about the Q drops, all right, if you go back and look at everything right now, a lot of these Q drops are coming to pass. I don't even have them on the screen, but I know the majority of what they say, some almost word for word, basically. But as far as Iran, if you put Iran in the search bar, you're going to get quite a few that pop up. And what they've talked about is they said the word regime change. But more importantly, they said fight to the people of Iran, fight, fight, fight. I see that happening right now. There's a touchy situation. I know this because in the beginning, they were slaughtering them by the thousands because they were protesting. That is nothing that's surprised me, especially watching this regime since 79. But now they seem to fall back a little bit. But the instructions have been since day one from President Trump himself to, pretty much stay in your homes, relax, just let things unfold right now. And they are happening. It's happening, and the Q drops are coming alive. Where do I think this is headed? Because last night, a lot of people said, I don't think the speech last night was for you or I. I don't. I think the speech was for the rest of the country, if you will, and the world, because he knew other people were listening, that really are not paying attention, or they're getting spoon-fed these headlines of propaganda, if you will. Hey, guys, if you're just joining the chat, how many people? Oh, I don't have that exact count. I don't think nobody does. Somebody said it was like 30,000. But I don't know. I can't confirm that as far as people that have been killed. But where we're at right now, President Trump last night pretty much said we're about, 2-3 weeks away from completing this mission. I would think in these 2 to 3 weeks, there's a plan in place. I don't think he's going to leave the Iranian people high and dry, but he's done an amazing thing by pretty much having regime change, killing the Ayatollah, crippling the entire government and the military of Iran, and there's still a few things needed to be done. I've been watching the missile launches since the very beginning, and they're thinning out. They're still there because they have quite a few underground bunkers, these missile little miniature cities underneath the earth and in the earth. But it is thinning out. They're getting farther and few in between. So what happens next is, I think it's right into Q drops. The people have to fight back. They have to make a decision. There is a percentage of lunatics that are not necessarily in the IRGC, but they're supporters of it. Okay, and you have to remember, these are people who've been indoctrinated since birth. I mean, how do you get someone to grow up and believe in being a suicide bomber? That's just, how do you fight that? But the indoctrination has been since day one, since birth, and I've been, I got to be careful about this. And the words I use, the adjectives I use. I was going to use a word that wouldn't have been good, but I'm happy, if you will, to see this going on. Nobody wants war. Somebody said the Stone Age is hard to come back from. Nobody wants war. Certainly, I don't. But everything is happening that you and I have been talking about if we've been together since I started coming on social media and then became a podcaster, which was sometime in 2018. The first year of Trump, I did it, and I was not even reporting the news. It was more like in 2018 I started to say, okay, I better start making a shift here. And then the whole Q thing, and I noticed that before I started posting, I'm like, oh, there seems to be something here. But now it's making a lot more sense after all these years because it's really happening. Not only is it a serious situation, but what I see online, the panic that I see online is, and when I say online, I'm really talking about X. It's crazy over there. Of course, I don't want to get in the whole thing. We've talked about it. You got your black pillars over there, and you got your panicans over there, and you got your people jumping ship. You got your people pretty much stabbing Trump in the back, if you will, or the MAGA movement, et cetera. And you're seeing it. I don't even have to name the names. You guys are seeing it. You see the true colors of these people. I stopped posting certain people who I used to post. Several people, if you will. But I'll say it live again right now on the air. I stand with President Trump. Even today with the whole thing with Bondi. Okay. Now, I'm not saying I was a supporter of Bondi, but I did support Bondi being in that position. Even though for months people said they wanted her fired. I didn't make a big deal about it, but I just kept saying, I do stand with President Trump. And today I stand with President Trump after his decision to let Bondi go. Now, we could talk semantics all you want, and we could talk vocabulary, if you will. Okay. But, between Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, okay, I'll just call it like it is. They've been fired. Okay, and you're going to say, and you're going to fight back because people get so sensitive about, that's not what happened. They got in another position. Look. If somebody came to me today, if I had a board of directors and the head of the board of directors came to me and said, Bruce, since you created MindFix Entertainment and it's going well, it's going in a good direction. You worked very hard for many years at this to get to where you are. But we have decided that no longer we want you in this position. As a matter of fact, we don't even want you with the company no more, but we're going to help you get another job in the private sector. I call that being fired. That's just me. You take it for what it's worth, okay? There's no reason to really get into this debate, even though I know I brought it up. It's almost irrelevant at this point. I'm sure that Todd Blanche, from what I understand, is going to be filling in as the AG. I know they're talking about, I think, Lee Zeldin or somebody. I haven't looked in the past few hours because I've been kind of getting ready for the show, but we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, I wanted to put a post out. I didn't put it out. I wanted to say something like, at the end of the day, all right, all that matters to me is quit posting that guy in my comments. I will not check him out. I do not like him. At the end of the day, all that matters to me is the person who is going to be prosecuting for treason. And when I say that, I'm a firm believer that we can't allow Russiagate to be gotten away with. That's the big one for me. That has to be taken care of. That should have never happened, and that's treason. So I'm hoping that comes to light soon. With that being said, whoever President Trump puts in, whoever the replacement is, I'll support. I voted for the man. I still stand by him. I have no reason to turn my back on President Trump right now. Now, I've always said if something happens to where it gets really that bad, I'll be the first to say, okay, I was wrong, and I will admit it. I have no problem doing that, ever. But right now, I stand with the operation that's going on. I know a lot of people are concerned about the midterms that's creeping up on us later this year. You got primaries coming up, et cetera. And I know that campaign's probably about to get underway soon. So, personally, I think certain things have to happen on the world stage still. They have happened. I was very pleased with the beginning of 2026 because I did say that something better give here as 2026 is where we were walking. I don't know, maybe it was New Year's Eve I posted it. I remember saying something to the effect that 2026, something better give here. And quickly. And what was it, on the 3rd that we went into Venezuela? And ever since that day, we've been full steam ahead. Full steam ahead. So, I got your comments in front of me. I'm not even looking at the screen. Is that why we have a cicada variant? I'm not getting into that. I don't look, and I can roll into this because there's something I want to talk about. It's going to roll into it. I think there's a lot of fear mongering out here, and there always has been. For example, right now, there's certain accounts that are posting what I post one thing recently, but what the IRGC Iran is saying, and I laugh at those posts every day because I've been following Iran for a very long time, way before Trump. Whatever they put out, it's always a lie. 99% of the time, it's a lie. They like to talk a big game. I mean, look what we've done. Sure, they're firing missiles. Sure, they got some off. Sure, they hit some targets in Israel. I get it. But they talk a big game. And they were the big bully of the Middle East. Last night, Donald Trump did not talk about NATO. It was a short speech. I kind of wanted him to. But I guess they decided not to. Fine with that. But he's been talking about it all the time. And it's a very strong possibility that we're headed in that direction of getting rid of NATO. Now, look, at all these world events that are going on right now, they have to happen first. Okay? And I know many of you are out of patience. Many of you are pissed off at the pump right now going to get gas, wondering what the heck is going on. I get it. This is probably why Q said the ending won't be for everyone. It's going to be tough, but we have to accomplish it. If there is a systematic approach that I take to my Facebook page, to all my accounts. Okay, you'll notice that I not only do I have started devotionals this year, I do one in the morning and one in the night. Guys, don't let me forget to post the nights because I'm on the air. And I interject certain posts in between. There is a reason for that. Okay? Because I know about all the propaganda that's going on. I know the fear-mongering that's going on. I know the lies when I see them, and there's lots of them. Unfortunately, I see some of you. I'm not picking on you. Maybe this is out of a caring thing, but I see some of you who buy into this. And the reason I say that, I get a lot of private messages. Being duped into fake news, that's one thing. That happens. It's going to happen. But buying into it's a different thing. And that's why I post a lot of things about that's inspiring. It's about your thinking. Again, my company MindFix is divinely given, and there's a reason for that. It's a play on words, and check here, and it means to not only to repair the mind, which is a journey that I've gone on, okay, but also to fix your mind, fix on something like the Bible says, that's lovely, that's good, that's pure, it's kind, true, on those good thoughts. It has taken me a lifetime to understand this and to get to where I'm at. I'll give you an example. What is the probably the number one event that brought the world together in one mass collective consciousness, an event? What would you say that event was? That where probably, now you can just do America, but in the entire world, our collective consciousness was fixated together as one on this planet. What event do you think that was? And there's a reason I'm bringing this up, and I'm going to make a point. Correct. Everybody's correct. Yeah, so everybody's saying 9/11 in the comments. That is the event. That is the last time that the world came together as one in a collective consciousness. Not COVID. No. I'm not buying that. That I can see that to a point, but we're talking 9/11 on the day of, that morning on September 11, 2001. And I didn't know certain things back then. And I'm talking about the power when we come together. Okay? If people truly understood, and this is part of me why I post the things that I post, because I know there's a handful of people that love to complain. All right? And I do too. I'm human. But there's a lot of people who, there's a handful of people who I can predict their comments before they comment. I'm not making fun of you. I'm not. I love studying these things. I'm fascinated by it. Okay? Yeah, somebody said in the comment, COVID did create more division. That's correct. So we were split on our collective consciousness. In 2001 of September 11th, at that time and preceding that, our collective consciousness, let's just talk about America right now. What was it? We didn't have what was going on now. We didn't have the division in this country that's happening now. We didn't have woke propaganda. Matter of fact, if that did anything, it united us. And it united us, and that brought us together, that collective consciousness. And what united us? It was, we all came into agreement of one thing. Oh, well, a couple things, but USA, USA, get a flag, put it on your porch, put it on your car. We want retribution. We want revenge. Go get them. And I was one of those people. And guess what we did? As a collective consciousness, we manifested that. Now, I know what road I'm going down in the language I'm about to use, and I'm never talk about things like this because I keep certain things to myself. I'm going to say a few things, and it's going to give you a little inside door to me. But we manifest. Oops. I apologize. Am I still okay? Okay, I'm good. We manifested this. Hit the camera there. Little shit. Don't worry. It wasn't an earthquake. But like I said, we did manifest this. And if people only knew what goes on a daily basis in your own life, every single one of us, all of you right now, are professionals at manifesting, whether you know it or not. If you're a worrier, or if you're a person who prays when you go instantly into worry or start questioning things after you ask God for something, what you're doing is you're doing something straight out of the Holy Bible. And you are manifesting these things. We did that on 9/11. That was the biggest time of collective consciousness. And guess who talks about this? It's in the Q drops. What did they talk about? They talk about, they think you are sheep. They want you divided. And Q preaches about unity. The only way this is going to work is unity. We have to stay united, not divided. We're in a very divided country right now. What we think about, we bring about, and that happened on 9/11. And what I'm about to say is something that I do believe in. It's easy to say to give it to God. Yeah, but there's action behind it when you say give it to God. That's such a loose term when people say that. And I love you, the person who said that. But I've always found laziness in that. Because when you give it to God, you have to give it to God in your thoughts. And you can't divert from that. If people truly understood the power and the ability of their thinking, it has nothing to do with knowledge. What we could do as a collective, we can actually change the world. But our focus is always on fear, worry, which brings stress, anxiety, illness, sickness. And the social media plays a part in that. And I know my pages play a part in that because of the news I report. And I'm well aware of every report. And I know what certain posts will cause people to go off in the comments, bitch and moan, kind of rightfully so. And there's a danger in that. I know that. And that's why I've been pushing really hard about the devotionals I put out, the inspiring post, and none of it is BS. It's all true. And this all comes from experience, my personal experience, strength, and hope. I think that whatever you want to call it, the cabal, I think these people knew the secret to manifestation and keeping it hidden from the public for centuries. I believe they knew this, just talking about 9/11. They knew our reaction. And they knew as a collective consciousness, we would attract it, we would manifest it, and we would agree with them to give them the green light to go in and start a forever war. So to everybody talking about forever wars, what's going on right now in Iran is not a forever war. I posted before the first bomb dropped that this will not be a forever war. I predicted it because I saw the writing on the wall. I understood the history, and I understood what Q was talking about. Putting all the pieces together makes complete sense to me. Why do you think Q says think mirror? Do you think that's just about looking at a timestamp backwards? Some of it is. I get that. There is code in that. But if you wanted to know the truth, think mirror is probably the most, and combine that with gratitude, being grateful, and think mirror is probably the secret to life. Because what you think about, you bring about. And when you see yourself a certain way, that's what you're going to attract. If you're going to worry about certain things, if you're going to worry about what's going on in Iran, if you're going to worry about what's going on in your bank account, if you're going to worry about the pump and bitch and bitch and bitch and complain about it, guess what happens? Your collective your consciousness is going to say, okay, it doesn't know how to say no. And what I'm talking about, whatever you want to call it. And I'm a Christian. I believe in Christ. And you all know that. But call it the universe or whatever you will. Because that scripture in that Bible talks about this. And I could pull out scripture after scripture which talks about your thinking and how to attract. Where the mind goes, the man follows. And I believe that this cabal, these people knew this for centuries. And that's why there's this thing called the 1% who has absolute everything, because they understood the power of thinking and manifestation. That's why they put their foot on the back of our neck. So when we were born, we were given a birth certificate, and we go through the system that they created because we think this is normal. This is just life. And this is how it is. And then you say something like, well, that's the cards I've been dealt. That's a load of crap. I wish I could pull out what's inside of me. And a lot of this is going to make sense come Sunday night on my announcement. Because you are going to understand where I'm headed, where MindFix Entertainment is headed, and what's to come. Call it what you will. Call it the law of attraction, whatever it is. But you could take that and you can go right to the Holy Bible and pull up scripture after scripture. When I understood what it took, when somebody conditioned my mind, when the news conditioned my mind, when the newspaper, before cable, before the internet, was conditioning my mind, I didn't understand these things. But today I understand because of everything that I've gone through. This is why I'm very vocal, or very transparent, I should say, about my past life of addiction and alcoholism, because of the darkness I went through and that hell that I went through. And all I did was thank you for Alcoholics Anonymous, who pounded in my head that told me I don't have an addiction problem, I have a thinking problem. When I finally understood they're right, I have a thinking problem, I put it to every aspect of my life, thinking, what about the world? What about what they've been feeding us? Let me go back to my childhood and think about that. Oh my, this is real. This is true. This is why I am so much about talking about the power of our thinking and our mind. You're manifesting something every day. And if you're worrying about it, the universe is going to say, they're going to give you more worry. They're going to give you more bills. They're going to give you more prices. They're going to give you something else that goes wrong. And a lot of people end up, when something good happens in their life, they may be grateful, but they have this thinking mentality, because I can only say that because I used to be this way. They set themselves up for failure because they're just waiting for the shoe to drop again. Q says, think mirror. And I think that's more than just looking at some timestamp and numbers backwards. They said the ending is not for everyone. Well, to me, that says those who understand it will get it. It will make sense. Why is it different from me or you for those who worry? But I've said something maybe in joke, but I'm very real about this. I could care less. Now, don't take me the wrong way here. I could care less right now if we're sitting here, my phone goes off, and a nuclear bomb is launched. I am at peace. I am fine. This is where I'm at right now in my journey. Everybody's in a different season. But I believe, truly, I got to this place, and I am convinced nobody will ever be able to tell me this is some crazy conspiracy theory. I am convinced that the cabal, for way before we were born, for hundreds of years, if not more, that understood this power. And then it just got into when here's the United States, here's the government, and then our forefathers who are rolling over in their graves right now. These people understood this secret, you will, about manifestation, the power of your thinking. This is exactly why they want to convince you that you have to rely on Big Brother government. This is all by design. This is bigger than some lies that they told us, okay? Whether they were behind 9/11 or not, you know. I'm convinced that they were. And all those other big conspiracies. And that's why it's bigger than that. Because the source of things is they understand how to keep people as a herd of sheep. And Q talks about that. They think you are stupid. They think you are sheep. They think you will obey. But Q says the opposite. You be united. Logical thinking. They talk about thinking. Think mirror. There's so much in that people do not understand or realize. If we came together, if I could take whatever I have right now, I know my biggest platform is Facebook, 40-some thousand. And I posted my analytics today, almost 38 million views in 90 days. That's pretty darn amazing. And that's why I said something about I have to be responsible with that and what I put out. And that's why I'm very cautious of what I put out. And people talk about, your devotionals and everything else, and it's inspiring. 100% real, authentic. It comes from me because I understand what is going on. Because I see many other platforms, it's all about rage bait to piss you off. And I said, I can't allow that to happen. I have to inject the good in there. You're talking about every single day, this is good versus evil. Well, here we are in a digital world. It's good versus evil. I'm going to make sure that I inject the good to combat the evil. I am very blessed to know what I'm talking about today, the things I spoke about just now. And here's the other thing, too. Here's the dangerous part. Okay? A collective consciousness, we're talking about 9/11. I use 9/11 as an example. But it also happens right here, right now on social media, in your groups, in your conspiracy groups, even in MAGA. These are labels. And that becomes a collective consciousness. And I have seen people who jump on the bandwagon all the time. I can't give away one of the announcements from Sunday, but it will make sense. One of my announcements, what I'm about to talk about, what I'm talking about right now, I mean. But we talk about this thing called TDS, all right? And it's, to me, it's real. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised it should become a clinical term. We should really look into that. I've been amazed by all that. Very amazed. I'm really sucked in when it comes to these things. And how I've seen people during the COVID pandemic, if you will, that was something that was a real eye-opener to me personally, because I knew there were people who lived in fear, but I didn't realize how many people truly lived in fear. And to watch people just panic and run to get their shot, to follow arrows in a grocery store, for crying out loud. And when we went through, and I never talked about this. I never talked about the collective consciousness. This is the first time I've ever talked about these things. Because I truly believe that cabal, whatever you want to call them, that 1% tier, there are good ones too. There are many wealthy fat cats that are good. But there's a big collection of people who understand how to keep us moving as sheep. And during COVID, I kept imagining those people, kind of like in V for Vendetta, them sitting around a big table with a globe in the middle, watching us follow arrows and wear a mask and laughing. I mean, that was the vision that I had. That's why I'm saying no one's going to ever convince me, because I believe that they knew that. And if the world, and you talk about something, you talk about the Great Awakening, I've always said the Great Awakening is, and waking up is so much bigger than conspiracy theories being proven to be true. And what it is waking up consciously and understanding the power of your thinking, how to wake up. Because the biggest weapon you have, like I said, you can go right to the Holy Bible. Because tonight is Holy Thursday. And if you truly, truly understand, and you could put on the mind of Christ and understand what that means, you will become like Superman. You will walk tall and confident, and things will bounce off of you like bullets off of Superman. This is why I say when I see people get so upset in the comments over some trivial stuff, I'm like, man, I just wish people would just take a step back and not buy into this stuff. This is why when you come to my page, I only post truth and stuff. I said I could have sold out a long time ago for clicks and money. And I could have posted propaganda headlines left and right because I see there's a massive audience for that. A massive audience for that. And people suck it up with, eat it up with a spoon. I want no part of that because I'd be only hurting myself. I'd be screwing up my own thinking as well. Kind of like what it's called karma. And that's kind of the definition of karma. But be careful, folks. Be careful in those groups. There's nothing wrong. I'm a conspiracy theory guy. I'm willing to call it out. I'm like, look, let's talk about 9/11. Let's talk about JFK. All good stuff. But there's a lot out there that's just bat crap crazy. And people are getting sucked into it, and it becomes a collective consciousness. Next thing you know, you're all agreeing, and then you're manifesting misery because none of this stuff is coming to pass, what you've been talking about for years. And you wonder why you're short-tempered. I'm very passionate about this stuff. What you don't see behind the scenes here is me. I pray without ceasing. I understand what that means in the Bible today. And praying without ceasing is not about stopping and folding your hands and praying, dear God, help me. No, it means walking around every day, all day, and being aware of your thoughts and casting down those thoughts, those strongholds. Worry about whatever it is, waste of time. I should have, even during difficult times in our life. Now I can go down a whole rabbit hole here with this stuff, and I could say something that will offend most people. And what I would say is everything that's going on and happened in your life, you attracted in your life. People will argue up and down with me. Several people will. But today I understand it. I understand it. And that's why, again, a big event like 9/11, they knew what they were doing. And they knew they were going to get this collective consciousness in agreement and attract that from the universe itself. Because I'll say it again, the universe doesn't know the word no, it just knows yes. Because you attract that in your life. You want more misery? Your wish is my command. You want more peace, gratitude? Then display that. Your wish is my command. It's right out of the Holy Bible. I've been scolded before. People, I remember somebody said, "Don't talk like that. You're supposed to be a Christian. This sounds like New Age stuff." I have taken just about every great book from every great spiritual teacher, and I've always went right back to the Holy Bible, and it's always comes back to the Holy Bible and the words of Christ. All the time. All it is different religions expressing it in their way. Most of them. Don't get me into certain other religions. We won't go there. But and it always comes back to one thing, the Holy Bible. And I have studied, I've picked apart that book, and I wanted to know everything that Christ said about our thinking. And I just dissected it and use it in my life every single day. And this is one of the things in my life that gives me joy. because I have come to a place in my life that nothing could rock me. Nothing can shake me. Okay. God forbid, of course, if something terrible happened to a family member or a child or something tragic like that. Sure, I'm human. I'm going to react a certain way. But I know today that I have the power and the ability, and I understand how to pray. It took me a lifetime to learn how to pray. I was full of lip service and saying mechanical prayers for years. I grew up Catholic, and I knew every prayer. It was just lip service. But it wasn't until... Those prayers are beautiful, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking that. I'll still say the Lord's Prayer. But when I say it today, it's no longer mechanical. I actually, if I were to say the Lord's Prayer, I feel it. And then I release that energy, if you will. That vibration. Because I know it's more than just positive thinking. It's about feeling. And you really got to walk around in life feeling, for example, that Donald Trump was the man. I feel it in my bones. That we are going to win. God wins in the end. But this plan we've been talking about for years, I feel it in my bones. It's coming to pass. And take a moment and literally sit there. And whatever it is you pray for, feel it. Feel that feeling in your stomach. You know that feeling you get when you get worried, or you look at your bank account, or you don't know how you're going to make the rent or the mortgage or whatever. You know that feeling you get? That's what you're supposed to be doing when you're trying to call in those things that you truly want, whether it's financial gain, financial success, success in business, health. You need to see yourself that way, and you need to call it in, and you need to feel it. That's why, again, I'm convinced that whatever you want to call it, the cabal knows this secret. I've never talked about this on the air, but this is the way I've been thinking for a very long time. And if they know, and if we know their secret, then it's up to us as a collective, but forget everybody in just MAGA alone, to get together, pray, and truly pray, and start manifesting these things. It's more than just saying a prayer. It's what you do in between the prayer and the next prayer. It's what you do if you're a churchgoer. It's what you do from Sunday after church to the following Sunday walking into church. It's that in-between time where most people will take that time to do a lot of worrying, a lot of complaining, a lot of bitching and whining and moaning and focusing on all the wrong stuff. And you think some hour on a Sunday is going to fix all that. No. You go on there for your hour on Sunday because it's a community. It feels good. It's a great place to be. But what are you going to do when you walk out those doors? Are you going to complain? Are you going to run right to Facebook? Are you going to run right to Bruce's page? Start complaining? I'm just throwing it out there, folks. I've never spoke this way live on the air. And I've always believed that these people who run this world, these evil people who run this world, understand this. And this is why we've been enslaved for our entire lives. My wish is for all of you to understand that. Nobody taught us these things in school. We go to school, we learn math, science, reading, etc. But nobody ever taught you how to think. And I'm not talking knowledge. I'm talking about proper thinking. Again, go right to your Bible after this show. It's right in there. And they're using scripture against you by injecting propaganda and the idea that you need big brother government to depend on. Not God and not Christ and not the Bible. You need the government. These people are evil. These people are Satan's spawn. I know this today. I truly believe that after everything that I've been through, I'm dedicated. Even though I run what I do what I do, for the rest of my life, till my last breath, I will push this I will speak on this, and I will be putting things out because it's so important. They just knew the secret the whole time, and they just enslaved us. I'd like to go right now to your comments, okay? So help me out now. If you want to talk news, ask a question. You want to talk about what I was just talking about, ask a question. If you disagree with me, let me know. So let's do that right now. Let's take the final minutes here because I don't want to go 2 hours. We just went 1 hour. And let's wrap it up. But again, the importance of this. I know we got news today. The Attorney General was fired. And that whole shakeup. We have war in Iran. But the biggest picture right now is, do you truly know how to think? Do you understand what is truly going on? Do you truly understand what the Great Awakening means? Do you understand what needs to be awakened? A lot of people, like I said, think it's just conspiracy theories coming to be true. That's not the Great Awakening. That's just information being proven that is true now that once was supposed to be not true. That's just being informed. I'm talking about awakening. I wish everybody, I pray for everybody on their journey, on their spiritual journey. I truly do. If you can get to a place like I'm at right now and be at peace, and I mean it, I use the scenario. The bombs can launch right now. I'm at peace. I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to complain. Is Cash a white hat? I've always thought so. I have no doubt that Cash is a white hat. How do we know what really truly in the Bible? I struggle reading it now. I've learned things were taken out and added. Now listen, Tammy, is it? Okay. That is a show to be had. That is a show I have purposely avoided. No question about it. I purposely avoided it. I think that's something I don't want to get into this evening, especially on Holy Thursday. But there is editing. We can go with with Constantine, the Council of Nicaea, and everything else. And we can talk about books about the Gospel of Thomas and all that. There's so much to talk about. I'm well informed about all of that. But that's a show that I think I'd have to pray about to get into, because that can be highly offensive to some people who are really diehard Christians or Catholics. And I'm not here to knock it at all, because I believe in the Holy Bible. There are certain things that, you wonder, and you go back to, time of Constantine and when they decided what was going to be in the Bible, et cetera. Yeah, I have questions. But to truly answer your question, right here, it's right here. If you understand that what the journey is only 18 inches long, when you can go from your head to your heart, and you can have a union from your head to your heart, when you marry your head to your heart, you'll unlock the door. You'll understand. That's a journey that you have to do on your own. That can't be taught. Okay. How do we put prayers back in schools? Do what I said tonight. Start getting together as a collective consciousness and thinking the right way. We'll manifest it all to happen. And sure, we have to do things. Faith without works is dead. Get involved. Get involved in your own community, in your own backyard. Do you think a depopulation agenda is happening and thoughts about Muslims all over? I don't. If anything, Muslims are populating. They're having sex like jackrabbits right now. True story. They know this. They want to populate. But if you're saying depopulate us, I don't think so. I know that's been talked about with the whole COVID scenario and things like that. And if you look at the woke propaganda and then having women hate men, no more procreation. They want it to be that way, but I think we're okay. Take our kids out of these schools. Yeah, that's another thing too. I'm very passionate about the children, and I just don't mean about, the the whole child trafficking and all that stuff. I'm talking about, I posted today about the woke propaganda that they released on our children. Is something that's always been very upsetting to me. Very upsetting. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the crazy stuff. Got a church guy that swears Trump was put in his position to get us into war and usher us into the beast system. He is right, and anyone who says different is wrong. Look, I have people who used to follow me that lost their minds. Now I'm gonna take crap for that one, what I just said. But they stopped following me because they went right to the book of Revelations. I'm not knocking Revelations. Again, I'll say it. I don't think we're in the end times. And went just gung-ho against Trump and talking about all those things. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And again, I'll be the first to say I'm wrong. But when I say I don't believe it, it's just it's in my spirit. The spirit I talked about, head to the heart, my thinking, it's a vibration. I just feel discernment. I feel it. It's just, that's not the case. Yeah, putting kids in public school, indoctrination. My two grandsons go to a wonderful public school, by the way. But it's something my daughter's amazing at making sure that none of that propaganda is perpetrated onto our children. You're very welcome for the devotionals as well. I appreciate that. Hold on, I got to go to my phone because the way this is set up. Hold on here. I probably missed some. If I missed your question, please let me see if I can't go back. Maybe type it in again. I do apologize. They were going quite fast there for a minute. So let me ask a question in the meantime. What are your thoughts about this? Has anybody on I'm not trying to downplay people. Is anybody on a level of what I explained, the level I'm at, understanding when it comes to what Christ was really telling us with Scripture about the power of our mind, how to track that? Because it talks about in prayer, about believing that it's already come to pass. You're supposed to, when you pray, you're supposed to believe it come to pass. Do you ever wonder why they are showing the same people too often talking about President Donald Trump in a negative way? No, I don't. Understand completely to my question. I'm trying really hard, but I'm only human. Yes, I totally get it. Yes, I agree with the power of our mind through Jesus. Ukraine and Russia, will it end soon? Who knows what's going on over there? I've been following that since day one. I don't have answers for you over there. I really don't. I've been on top of that quite a bit over the years, but I've taken kind of a backseat to it. Let's see. Something's different tonight. Yep. I remember you saying you want to teach children, young people how to think. Somebody asked me that once. I said, yeah, if I could ever go back, somebody asked me if I can go back. I'd go back and be a teacher. That's why they say it is the word. Correct. Exactly. Look, when it comes back down to that question I got about the Bible and the editing and all that, at the end of the day, it comes down to what you believe. Because what you believe you can achieve. It's that simple. I love Romans 12:2. I love Romans 12:2 as well. Do not conform. I can tell you what it is. Do not conform to the world. Have a complete transformation of your mind. Renew your mind. Yep. Romans 12:2 is probably right up there with Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 for me. Teaching is not an easy job. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, Russia's getting rich with the oil situation and Iran war. That's coming to an end with the Iran. It's coming to an end. Again, I believe in the plan that's unfolding because it is unfolding. And it's in the Q drops. And it's already underway. Romans is a great book. We have a very powerful mind. Just have to learn how to harness it. Yep, you're right. And you're human too. You just gotta. It's a discipline. You gotta teach yourself how to cast down those strongholds. And that language that I just used, cast down your strongholds, comes from one of my very beginning books, and that was Joyce Meyer, The Battlefield of Mind. I read that book. I've read it probably at least a dozen plus times. I've done studies on it, where she uses scripture and talking about the battle that we're going on. That was the beginning of my journey. And I took that book very seriously, and I've always recommended that book. Sure, you could be a teacher. Doesn't mean you have to be in a classroom. Okay. Is it okay to talk about Nasara? I've already talked about it. I don't believe in it. And the whole Nasara thing, I believe in the golden age of America. I always said, prior to Trump getting reelected, we've done shows on this. I said, I don't believe in the internet Nasara. It just doesn't make any sense. Everybody can't be rich and a millionaire, and the world would collapse. But yeah, I would. I don't believe in it, but I believe a golden age is coming, and we're going through the birthing pains right now. That's why you're seeing the oil prices at the pump. But we're close. We're getting close. Yes, do I recommend the workbook that goes with Battlefield of Mind? It's been a number of years, but yes, I do recommend it, because I was doing study groups with that workbook. We've done quite a few. I even did a book, and I know a lot of people are not a fan of Rick, but Rick Warren's Purpose Driven Life is an amazing piece of literature. That was a great book. I did the study groups on that too. Yes, I read the books of Enoch. I have even read things like the Gospel of Thomas. I'm very fascinated by that. So yeah, there's a lot there. And it's a journey that I go on, and I love this stuff. I truly do. Every single night, this is not a joke, there's 2 things that happen in my life. Every night, I don't miss it. When I wind down and go to bed, besides my normal routine, I choose to watch comedy, because that's very important. I know what I'm putting in my mind. I want to laugh before I go to bed. And then on YouTube, I put on, there's certain channels that talk about everything that I have talked about this evening, and I listen to it and fall asleep to it, because I'm planting seeds into my mind. It talks about that in the book of Job, about how important that final 5 minutes before sleep, that slumber part, that part in that twilight part where you're about to fall asleep, you know what I'm talking about? And you're fighting it and you're drifting off. It's that moment, what you're thinking about. It's like marinating a steak. What you put into your mind at that moment will marinate. And that's what you're going to get into your life. And it becomes in your subconscious, whether you like it or not. And your subconscious needs to be deprogrammed, just like a computer, because we put so much garbage in there over the years, and we got to get rid of that virus. When will they unveil the aliens? I don't know. Hey, I'm on the same. I don't have all the answers, but I'm in the same boat with you guys. I'm enjoying the show. Oh, somebody just said, I'm going to say something right now. There's a comment, and I'm going to talk about it. It says, I believe in the med beds. They haven't been released yet. They aren't alien technology. All right. They are alien technology. Okay. If you really want me to get serious now, and you can go ahead and grab this clip. I'm going to say it. I'm very deeply involved in AI. Every day, I'm deeply involved. Most of it for right now, we are deeply involved with AI with production. Okay. And we've come up with some amazing ideas that we could use AI for good when it comes to being storytellers, if you will. Okay. But I've been studying it a lot. And I can tell you right now that AI, and we're talking about med beds, but I can tell you right now, AI is the new nuclear arms race. It is the next wonder of the world. It is here. You can't stop it, and there is no turning back. The only way we're turning back now is if a nuclear bomb falls on all of us, God forbid, and we go back to fighting the next war with sticks and stones. But other than that, it's here. It's not going anywhere. Sorry. I know I have an audience who's even a little bit older than me. We get set in our ways when we're older. I get it. I understand. But it's not going anywhere, and it's here. So those days, like I'm a Gen Xer, and the 80s were amazing. Even some of the 90s, early 90s, the most amazing time of my life. And I'm never going to see that again, ever. I know the direction that we're headed in. As far as MedBed goes, I can't sit here and tell you if they're real or not. I would just say to you, what about? I said I'll do plenty of shows on AI. I've done shows on AI, and I'll do more. And I'm going to sit here and tell you, you're not going to get the fear mongering from me, because I see a lot of good in it. Can it go wrong? Of course it can go wrong. Right now, here's the problem with the AI. You guys are just upset because you're getting duped by videos and pictures and things like that out there on the internet. That's minuscule. That's nothing. It's irritating. I know. I get it. I understand. And it throws you for a loop. That's why you hate it. All right. But I'm going to say it right now. I don't know if there are med beds, but what are they waiting on? But I'll tell you this much. AI will cure cancer, and AI may probably cure every single disease, if not most. How long before that? I'll say 5 years. That's my prediction. You know, my mother has cancer right now. She has lung cancer. She knows how heavily involved I am with studying AI right now for the good stuff. We have used AI with her cancer to get kind of like preliminary answers. Okay. And I'll tell you what, it's amazing. My mother goes in. I've been taking her to a lot of doctor's appointments lately. And every time that she walks into the doctor's office now, they let her know that they're pre-recording conversation for AI. Because white collar, if you're white collar, I'd be concerned. I would start thinking about a job change. If you're a person in college right now, if I had a son or daughter in college right now, I tell them to stop. I know that sounds crazy. I'd say pull out, get out of college now. Don't waste your money, because college is going to go away anyways. The world is changing that fast. I mean, this is faster than the nuclear arms race. I wake up every single day and I check certain things. Right now, the one thing I'm watching with the AI is the video, okay? Because we're working on something. We're working on future storytelling that we can do with AI that would cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars on a set to do. But with AI, we can save all that money. And right now, Elon is at a race with a Chinese company called Dance, and right now they're upping their game about every day. When I wake up, I can just see it. It's moving that fast. So if AI is moving that fast, it's moving that fast in every direction. So I'm just telling you right now, folks, that it's here. It's changing. How do I say this? Because people are worried about it. Everybody's going to lose their job. I have advice for that. Don't sit on the sidelines and let AI use you. First of all, for those who are going to say something like, I'm not going to use AI, it doesn't matter. It's going to use you. It's being implemented to every single area of our life. On your phone, in your banking, soon in the grocery store, the whole nine. So it's here. It's coming. It's changing the world. Now, how that change happens is entirely up to us. And that's why I'm not going to be left in the dust and sit on the sideline and be one of these people who say, oh, AI is and all the dangers. I could do a show on that. It's simple for me to do a show on that. There's plenty to talk about. We can compare it to Terminator. But there's a lot of good I could see in it. A lot of good. And I mean, Elon Musk talking about the future of AI and everything else. Be careful out there because, in my opinion, and I'm not here to sell you anything, but in my opinion, I would take a wait and see approach right now, and just watch what unfolds. There's some amazing things that I'm seeing that's happening. And why do you think President Trump is just gung ho about all beating China with the AI? It's like a nuclear arms race right now because it's running the world. It's going to continue to run the world. And I don't think we're going to reckon. I can come back. We'll be back here, let's say, in, gosh, I can even say 2 years. By the end of Trump's presidency, let's go that. We'll give it that much. I'll come back to this podcast. The world is going to be night and day compared to the way it is right now today. Night and day. All right. Well, I'm not telling. First of all, let me say something. Somebody says, I have a granddaughter in college who wants to be an occupational therapist. I don't know what quitting college would be the thing for her to do right now. Don't do that. I'm saying if I had a kid, I know what I would say because of what I see. Okay? I just lost my one doctor. I got a phone call right before Thanksgiving, and I had to do some digging to find out why. Just young doctor, too. Just quit, left, no longer. You can't have him no more. You got to find another doctor. This is from the world-renowned Cleveland Clinic. And come to find out, these doctors are getting paid very handsomely by AI companies, and they're taking them away from being a doctor as well to work for the AI companies because these doctors are seeing the writing on the wall because their services are no longer going to be needed for the most part. I know that's hard to fathom and to think about. How are we going to do that without human connection or human contact? It's coming. I'm not here to sell you fear. It's just I see it. It's coming. You can even watch amazing things right now with robotic surgery, etc. But with AI implemented now, it's just, look, here's the cool thing. You and I were part of an analog world, and now we're part of a digital world. So we were witness to both. So it's a pretty cool time to be alive. And again, this whole crazy thing with AI goes belly up and goes wrong. What difference does it make? As long as you know where you're going and who your creator is. Right now, this evening, they were in this upper room and they were having their final supper because tomorrow is Friday. And tomorrow morning when I wake up, I will post a video where it's called It's Friday, but Sunday's Coming. All that matters is your connection with that higher power of yours, who I choose to call Jesus Christ. Bruce, with AI for medical concerns, do you think medical insurance will be the past? I do, eventually, absolutely. There's not even a ton of human contact even with the human doctors now. Correct, there's not. You do a lot of AI, I do a lot of virtual visits now, getting stuff called in. You have a My Chart, the whole nine. So, yeah. There's a new movie out with Chris Pratt that came out on Prime, and I'm telling you, it's not gonna. It was over the top, but it's not that far-fetched. It's about him committing a crime. I think the script was he murdered his wife, apparently. He was a cop. But he ended up in AI court. Nobody but an AI judge, jury, and executioner. I mean, they've been talking about that, too. I mean, lawyers, I've been hearing it left and right about lawyers. Go find another profession if you're a lawyer. That's what I'm being told. And I know a lot of you out there right now who are probably, you might be white collar and a CEO of a company. And you might be sitting here listening to me saying you're crazy. Okay. Just keep watching. Keep watching. It's happening. Believe it or not, I listen to all the fat cat wealthy millionaires. I watch that young man on that YouTube channel who goes around, I forgot his name, and interviews all the wealthy millionaires and the billionaires. I love that YouTube channel, especially when they talk about God in it a lot. And to find out a lot of these entrepreneurs who went on to become multimillionaire billionaires are rooted in faith. It's so inspiring of a channel. But right now, if you go watch those videos, those current ones right now, certain people will tell you, even like I think he just interviewed Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank and things like that. All of them, same thing. He asked the same question. If he says something, I'm paraphrasing, if you had advice for the younger generation right now to get into something, what would you give them advice? Every single one of them says AI. Get into AI. I've even heard the billionaires say, if you're in college, get out. Get into AI right now. So I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing is coming. It's here. It's not even coming anymore, but it's here. Right. They have hospital beds now that do all the work. They can check your blood pressure and you don't even need nurses. Yeah, it's moving fast, folks. Very fast. But this whole talk back to about these med bed things and this whole secrecy of med beds, it may be true. I don't know. And apparently it's what is it? It's buried because of the patents being put away under lock and key. I don't know. But I think the direction that AI is going in, I don't think you even necessarily need a bed because it's going to figure it all out. And it's already doing it. I used to tease my mother back in the day prior to this whole cancer thing. And she was I'd always call it Dr. Google. And I always tease her and laugh about it. And I'm like, oh, going on I'd make fun of it. But now, okay, with AI, totally different. Don't treat AI like a search engine. That's the first mistake people make. But with AI now, I'll tell you what, I went down the journey of medical things and cross-referenced them, and it just happened today. As a matter of fact, my mother just had, I told you about her cancer. This is a true story. She come down and told me, she says, the doctor just called, and I forgot the name of it. I don't remember. She goes, like, I have a stomach infection. She just had just been scoped. And whatever the name of this stomach infection is, I gave it to my AI, who has a name, by the way. And I gave it to my AI, and I said, can you tell me about this? And tell me, I says, my mother just found out she has this. And the AI said, she's going to need probably 4 medications. It'll be an antibiotic and another antibiotic followed by this antacid and possibly this. It was an hour later that the doctor's office called back and said, your prescriptions are called in. You have 4 prescriptions. That happened this evening. So we knew before we were even told. Crazy. And it blows Dr. Google out of the park. All right. Yeah, again, I pray for your healing. Look, we have the power to heal ourselves. And this goes back to what I talked about in this show. And it comes with your thinking. You realize most people are sick because of their thoughts. They truly are. A lot of people are going to doctors and the hospitals because of their thoughts. It was their thinking that got them ill. And part of that is because of all the stuff I talked about, that 1% of the cabal knowing the secret, because they know you're going to focus on the worry and everything else, and then you manifest illness. Now, you could choose to believe what you want. You can call me crazy. That's fine. I happen to know the truth today. Yes, I do. So, yes, to the person in there, it was H. pylori or something it's called. Yeah, she got diagnosed with that stomach infection today. And I never heard of it before. And, yep, AI told us what to expect. It happened in an hour. It was crazy. Yes, I am healed. Tell yourself you're healed. See yourself healed. See yourself healed. A lot of people have a hard time doing that because they focus on the doctor, the prescriptions, the diagnosis, the medical report. See yourself healed. Christ told you that. Just read the Bible. Look at the scripture. You're being told that. You have the power to heal yourself. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. I'm still on a journey. because, but I know how to catch myself today. When I find myself getting angry and down or upset, I immediately catch myself because I know what's going to happen. I know I'm going to manifest misery, and I don't want that in my life. I love my peace. I love my joy. And that's why I'm so grateful all the time. And I'm grateful to God every single day because the wisdom he gave me, I don't deserve, but he gave it to me. And all I did was listen, and I put one foot in front of the other, and I got out of my way, my ego. I got out of my way. I let go of my ego. Like Jesus, take the wheel of the song. Just let go and let God. And understand, head to heart, that union, that joint union, that's the marriage. That will be the most important marriage of your life, that union right there. When you understand, connect your head to your heart and understand the power of your mind. Because you're going to attract whatever it is you're thinking about over and over again. All right. Time is at 9:30, so I want to get off of here. Okay, last time. Does anybody have a pressing question out here before I go for the evening? What I'm going to do in the meantime, let me check the newswire because I've been away for the past hour and a half. Let's see. I just want to see if there's any breaking news. And I want to close with something. Todd Blanche is on. I can't hear it right now, but when I get off the air, I'll listen to it. Todd Blanche is on Jesse Waters, or Jesse's over because it's already 9:30. So he interviewed Todd. I'm sure Todd talked about his new position today. So I'll check that out. Okay, but real quick, let me go back. I don't see any more comments. Okay, so what I'd like to do is I'm going to close here and tell you guys, first of all, thank you for tuning in this evening. I really appreciate it. Again, I'm grateful for every single one of you. Well, 99.9%. There are some crazy trolls out there who purposely don't like me and like to cause trouble. But again, Sunday night, I will be releasing a video. It's pre-recorded, and with my little announcement I've been teasing, there will be 3 announcements to go with the one big announcement. And I just want to wish everybody a wonderful weekend, a happy Thursday, and probably the most important thing right now, as we go into this Easter weekend and Good Friday tomorrow. You know, I know a lot of people say it's around the 3:00 hour, the crucifixion, but take time out tomorrow. I'm asking everybody to take time out tomorrow. Just shut off the phone and sit in peace. Be still and know that I am God, and just reflect on what Christ did at the cross and why he did it. We don't deserve it, but that's how much he loves us. And when you come to that understanding, life changes dramatically for you. I wish you all the absolute best. I wish you a happy Easter. I wish you well on your journey with your thinking and your mind, because you truly can. I don't care what you've gone through. I don't care how old you think you are, or what your circumstances are. You can change your life completely, no matter where you're at right now, if you truly have the courage to believe and feel it at the same time. God bless you guys. I'll talk to you soon, and let me get back to work here and post a few things. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.